Hey folks, welcome to today's show and tell video production edition. My name is Joey Fameli, and today I am showing you the Hollyland Technology Mars 400S Pro video transmission system. This is a HDMI and SDI wireless video system that I'm very excited about because these things are normally very pricey. People who have worked with systems like this in the past may know Teradek. The name Teradek is kind of the industry choice for video, wireless video. So for throwing signals to Video Village, for video recording on the monitor system, or just for simple viewing. Now we do a lot of these home production videos, and I have an HDMI cable that runs usually from my camera to my monitor here, so I can check focus and just check the settings and check out exposure, false color. This is built with all sorts of tools in it to help me do this stuff, I guess, remotely from my camera. I also use these things on set. Sometimes I will rig up a cinema camera, and then I'll have a signal going out to maybe a producer or a director who's on set checking the video. And again, those are very expensive systems. You can rent the Teradeks for a couple $100 a day, I think. But in the past, on like low budget stuff, I've just run HDMI out of the camera to a monitor and kind of been tethered to the monitor in that way, or to the director or producer, or whoever else needs to see the feed, which can be troublesome because you don't want cables running around areas and sets where people and actors are going to be moving around on, and so wireless is often the better choice. But again, I've never been able to afford a Teradek. Those things are like $2,500 just for just your basic system, and they're great. They run very well, but it's just not very consumer friendly. And with the kind of advent of a bunch of other video gear lights all becoming more affordable for everyday people, I've been kind of waiting for a wireless video system to become affordable. And this is kind of fitting the bill. This is about $650, which is still not cheap, but it's also not very expensive in terms of video wireless. Again, there's not a whole lot of these on the market. I checked out Hollyland, I think, on just browsing for if anything was available, and came across this guy, and I kind of had to check it out because for the price and what it was claiming to do, I needed to see it. I needed to test it out myself. Let's go over what this device is. What comes in the box, really. You buy this for $650. There's a bunch of different versions that they have. The 400S Pro was the one that spoke to me, as I do work in HDMI and SDI often. And I wanted something very simple, something I can just attach on to a monitor, hit go, and that be that. And that's kind of what this is. You get your receiver and you get your transmitter. Your transmitter's here. They look almost identical, except for like on the cold shoes, you have this red and this blue connector point. And you can kind of think in NASA terms. Red is the video outwards, leaving the camera, and then the blue is receiving that. And I think that's kind of how NASA colors work on the spacesuits, with the red and blue, the inlet and the outlet. So think in terms of red goes out, blue comes in. I am throwing the signal out through an HDMI. I have the GH5 here set up with the HDMI going into the back. And here I have the HDMI in the back, I have an SDI on the side. I'm powering this with Sony LP batteries, which are very common. My Small HD works in those. I have a bunch of stuff that works in those, so I have a ton of those batteries around. You can also power it through USB-C and power your stuff that way. And so for the transmitter, I'm just having my Small HD monitor here receive the signal and then throw HDMI out into the monitor so that I can view it. And this kind of rig that I have here is just through some arms, but with my follow focus system, by Tilta, I can kind of build out a little, maybe like laser cut a little package where I can hold the system here, power everything through like a V-mount battery, have my Mars 400S, giving it the wireless signal, and then have that wireless follow focus and be able to have someone do follow focus completely remotely of not being tethered to me as a camera operator, or vice versa. So it's a pretty simple system. It just comes with these two devices. It comes with the antennas that you need. It comes with a power supply. And that's it. I mean, you're up and running there. Now, where this kind of differs from Teradek and some of the more expensive systems, this can only do 1080 out. I am shooting this video right here. You're seeing on the GH5, which does 4K, but I have to tell it, hey, when you're using the HDMI out, down convert to 1080, because this can do about 1080p 60, which is fine for monitoring purposes. If I'm just using this as a monitor, that's absolutely acceptable. But for some people, that might be a deal breaker. If you are planning on recording to a Ninja and you want that 4K, you want that full signal, you're going to need to do a Teradek or something, or just go HDMI. I'm not planning on, even though you can record that 1080 signal, I'm not planning on using it that way. That's an option if I wanted to shoot in 1080. but most of my stuff's in 4K these days. So if I'm gonna be recording directly to my recorder, I'm gonna mount it onto my camera rig and use that monitor, have the HDMI go out to the camera, into that monitor, out of the monitor, into the transmission system, which can then go back to Video Village. Again, I'm very excited about this because there's a couple things. Again, I just wanted less cables. I like less things in the ground. I like to lift things up or go wireless when possible. And that price, it's too good to beat. And I've tested out the distances, and this claims to go about 400 feet, which is huge. I did a couple different tests. I put this thing in my garage, put the camera in my garage with the wireless signal, and then walked out of my house with the monitor. And I walked about 100, 110 feet through, again, this is trying to throw out of my garage past other buildings, and I started getting drop out at about 100 feet. That's going through many different walls and things. When this is out in the open, this can get to about, I'd say safely 300 feet, and then you need to start being careful. But that's a huge distance to go. If you're on set, your chances are not going to be that far. You're going to be maybe in the next room over, or even just within eye distance, within eye shot of the camera. The other reason I'm excited about it is because we are kind of coming out of, we're still shooting on our own, but we're thinking about in ways that we can amp up our production, bring people back on to help facilitate shoots so that everything isn't landing on, let's say, Adam. Adam is shooting a lot of his one-day builds on an iPhone on a stand, and he's kind of moving that camera around different places and doing a lot of that legwork while he's also trying to focus on a build. Where I've been thinking about this system is that there may be a scenario where we toss up a couple different cameras, have those go SDI, or even purchase more of these to throw a signal to an ATEM mixer, and have him let him have a couple different stations of pro cameras that we can move around and then back up and let him use those cameras as sort of talking points, and then also attach one of these to maybe a GoPro and a stick. And so he'll have complete freedom with this camera, whether it's his iPhone or his GoPro, on some kind of stick that he can mount to where he needs to, again, without being tethered to anything, just having his signal going out to one of these, tossing it back to us who are nearby in a live mixing booth, who will then mix that video together. So there's tons of cool opportunities there as we sort of enter the next phase of what tested production looks like. And we'll give you a little bit of update later on about how we're doing that in case you're interested. Now, so far, all I've really talked about is sending this to a monitor, sending the wireless signal to a monitor, but there's two other features that I wanted to highlight. One is that apparently this can do like a live stream. You can go out HDMI through a converter into your computer and live stream out. I haven't tested any of that out yet, and I don't know when I would. I'll give it a test later, but I haven't used it in practice. The other thing I really actually like about this that I didn't really realize how great it was the app. There is the HollyView app, which you can connect to these guys through Wi-Fi and open up through many different devices. I can do my phone, I can do an iPad. Sometimes you'll see in Video Village now, iPads being set up, getting these wireless signals so that there are multiple areas for people to view what's on the picture. You can send a signal. I've sent it to 3 devices at the same time without any problem. On top of that, you get tools that are built in there, like false color, LUTs, exposure tools, histograms, waveforms, all that stuff, which is really great to have that ability, so you don't have to bring a ton of monitors to set. If you have a handful of producers, you can give everyone the Wi-Fi access code, and they can just view the signal from wherever they're at and see that program feed themselves, let them deal with that on their phone or their iPads. But again, I'm very excited about having wireless transmission systems become less expensive. Teradeks are great. I love using them. They're very reliable, and they've been in the industry forever. But you're paying that video production premium. And so the Hollyland Technology line of products in terms of their wireless stuff, I haven't tested out any of the other wireless transmission systems except for this 400S Pro, which I think is relatively new. I think it's an upgrade of a version they had before. But from the few people I've researched that have used them, have been pretty happy with them, and I'm hoping to use this a bunch more and kind of keep an eye on it, and we'll give you some updated thoughts when we do that full production video of how we're integrating this into our tested workflow. So that is about it. Thank you guys for watching this show and tell with our new wireless transmission system with the Hollyland 400S Pro HDMI, SDMI out. We'll see you guys next time on a show and tell. Take care. Bye.